Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Aliens Colonial Marines. Boy howdy, have I been looking forward to this video. Now, by this point, you know, it's like 2 or 3 days past the release of Aliens Colonial Marines, so most of you probably already know that this game is absolutely garbage. Even if you don't trust modern reviewers, as a lot of people say that they don't, this game is pretty much fundamentally broken and kind of a betrayal to those of you who are big fans of the Alien mythos, or Aliens itself as a standalone movie. I picked this up on release day, and I've probably played like 4 or 5 hours of this, believe it or not. I streamed it for like 2 hours yesterday, and allow me to join the chorus that hates this game and considers this, you know, an affront to all things gaming and Aliens related. It's not all abysmal. I'm not trying to be like just a hater and jump on the hating bandwagon. I don't think this is a 2 out of 10 game, but it's certainly not that much better. Not devoid of value, but mostly devoid of value. In any case, we're gonna get started here. It feels a lot like Duke Nukem Forever. I'm just gonna select a mission. Like I said, I guess starting a new mission will clear checkpoint progress. That's okay with me. I've done 3 or 4 missions so far. I think I've done 4 missions so far. Let's go. I guess I've done 4, or I'm on the 4th one. Anyway, apparently it's quite short. It's only about 6 hours long in the campaign, and again, I've put like 2.5 to 3 into that. I'm just bad at the game, I guess, is the best way to put it. And let's go to Battle for Sulaco, because this is like the second mission. We've been introduced to some characters. This will give us an idea of the game at large. Sure, yes, I know starting a new mission will kill existing progress. We'll check out the multiplayer eventually too, but the single player, you know, when I play games, I play primarily for the single player, and the campaign is where I focus most of my hatred here, as well as, you know, most of my time with the game.
Captain, we are under attack by human forces in the control room. What the hell is happening out there?
Don't know, son. Do not fire unless fired upon.
Alright, so I'm just letting them talk, even though they apparently continue ad infinitum.
O'Neil, if you don't get moving, every Marine on both ships will die. Ignore that sounded like a question and move your ass, grunt.
Now you might be wondering a couple of things. One of them is, why are we shooting humans instead of aliens? This is a major complaint that a lot of people have had with this game, and a major complaint that I have had as well, is that this is basically, it's turned to the kind of like tense, seemingly survival horror type aspect of Aliens franchise, and you know, the earlier Alien vs. Predator games. It's kind of turned it into a man shooter, a lot like Call of Duty, and I have nothing against Call of Duty, unlike a lot of people. I guess that's my teammate right there. However, this is not what Aliens is, and we spend a lot of our time, at least in the early game here, fighting men instead of fighting xenomorphs, which is unfortunately incredibly generic and quite boring. So the general story of the game so far is that basically, you know, I'm not a huge... Nice AI there, by the way. I'm not a huge fan of the Alien franchise. I mean, I love Aliens. It's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. But I'm not one of those guys who is like really into the extended universe and, you know, the fiction of Aliens, etc. Again, that AI, man. I'll let Bella talk, I guess.
Counterattack by human.
I'm here. I'm laying low in a storage room off of Cargo Bay 3. O'Neil.
All right, stand fast, kid. We're coming to get you.
The troops are Weyland-Yutani PMCs. Those are guns for hire.
Which means what?
It means forget the rules of engagement. They're trying to hide something.
You know, so in standard Alien or Aliens style here, we are dealing with the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Who would have thought that the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, after being evil in what, every single movie in this universe, continues to be a little bit evil, or at the very least, unscrupulous in this game right here. So basically this takes place right after Aliens, but before Alien 3, so we're dealing with the Sulaco, which I believe was the ship from Aliens, that was full of Colonial Marines, and but it's transferred from the prison planet from Alien 3 to where it is now, which is above LV-426, which I believe is the planet from Aliens. But again, I'm not one of those guys who sat down and, you know, watched Aliens. Do we have aliens here or just dudes?
What do you want to do?
We've got our motion tracker.
I don't know. You know how to use a power
Of course I know how to use a power loader. You move close to it and then you press X. I've only used this once, by the way, but I believe there is a battle with this. In the marketing materials for the game, I've seen a battle with an alien using the power loader. But yes, anyway, the story doesn't matter too much. Basically, it's just an excuse to have you run through cramped corridors and occasionally shoot down Weyland-Yutani PMCs or xenomorphs, as the case might be. I hope we see xenomorphs on this level. I can't quite remember. I mean, I guess we're gonna see eggs. Actually, this might be where they introduce the face huggers. By the way, this game has like a super tired mechanic in it, or not mechanic, but a narrative element where Bella,
Jesus Christ.
where is it?
Break.
Bella, the character that we're gonna meet,
Can you see this on our cams?
has,
Who are these people?
she woke up in the morning and she's like, hey, there was a face hugger on my face. You know, that's pretty shitty. We can see the face huggers right here. But I'm gonna be okay. And we're like, are you sure you're gonna be okay? And she's like, yeah, no problem. It was dead when I woke up. Had a game, like, oh, we've got to kill the unhatched eggs because those could possibly explode in our face and let us deal with some face huggers, which is bad. The face huggers also grunt in this game, which kind of ruins the element of suspense of them just popping out of nowhere. But yeah, so basically we know this character is going to die at some point in the very near future. Oh, it almost hatched on me there. We know this character is going to die. Don't put your penis in my mouth, you space vagina. Where'd it go? I find it very difficult to see the enemies sometimes in this game. I think I killed it though, because the music. Thanks for the help, by the way, O'Neal. Major complaint about this game. Awful companion AI as well as enemy AI, especially the aliens AI. It's really, really bad. Now, where are we supposed to go? I thought we were supposed to go through this door. Maybe I can cut my way through this one over here. Yeah, I guess we can. Or is it locked? Yeah, we can cut it open. So we have like a laser cutter that we can use to cut open these doors. A lot of jump scares, so don't be surprised if one happens right now. At least we did encounter some form of alien over the course of this video, though, which is something that I was not 100% confident of. I think there is a face hugger in here. This is actually one of the brief moments in the game where there's some form of tension. The first encounter you have with a xenomorph in this game is actually really good. There's like a cat and mouse mechanic. You know, you have to kind of hunt it and avoid being hunted yourself. After that, though, you know, you realize that the aliens are killed in a single shotgun blast each, and it becomes pretty much just to walk through corridors and man-shoot everybody that you come across. So again, we're going to shoot the unhatched eggs, just to make sure that we are safe here. Is this the right way? It is the right way. So, let's talk a little bit about the problems that a lot of people are having with this game. And why I think this is probably one of the worst AAA games I've played in my entire life, potentially. Unhatched. Unhatched. The major one is that this really does just feel like a first-person shooter that came out 10 or 20 years... Well, not 20 years ago. That'd be crazy. This is the first time I've been genuinely scared playing this game. It's not scared, I'm just startled. Oh, that's an unhatched one. There might be some kind of secret over here, is my guess, because usually secrets are hidden basically in plain sight like that, but sadly, no. Yeah, so major complaints, it just feels incredibly dated. Like, the idea of actually picking up physical health and armor parts that are actually just like a helmet and body armor and med packs and stuff like that feels really dated. And I'm not saying I'm on the side of, like, regenerating health is the future of first-person shooting, but this does feel a little archaic and dated, and it basically causes the entire game to boil down to a simple formula of just, you know, walk into a room, kill everything, grab all the ammo and health that's available or that you need, and then move on. So it feels like, you know, a game that came out in 2001, which kind of makes sense because, you know, it's been in development for like 6 or 7 years now. Enemy AI and your companion AI is fucking god-awful, like, really serious garbage. Where's my teammate? Teammate! Oh, is he... There we go. Yeah, just stand at that door. That'll probably open it.
Come on, it's me.
There we go. So she's the one who's eventually going to have her chest explode. And we're going to roll in a squad here like we're playing Spec Ops The Line or something.
Are you sure you're okay?
It was already dead, O'Neal. I'm fine. Alright, I pulled it off.
See, game, you can't have this conversation. We know what's going to happen.
Likewise.
There's no tension here if we know that she has an alien inside of her womb.
Sure you're okay?
She's not okay.
No, I'm fine. Quit being such a little bitch. Let's get moving.
Also, if the game calls anyone a little bitch
We've recovered Bella from
any more times, I'm gonna be pissed off. The dialogue in this game is, I mean, the Marines from the movie, yes, they're a little bit, you know, macho and over the top, and that's cool, that's their character.
Solid copy, Bishop.
But it's really shitty.
Update on status as it happens.
I guess I'm talking while torching this here, but anyway, it's really shitty when they say things like, literally, this is a verbatim line of dialogue from the game. Oh, there's shit blowing up and shit, or shit's blowing up and shit, and you're like, really? That's not like, it's out of character, and it's just really, really bad.
Friendlies, watch your fire and send those Wayu bastards straight to hell.
All right, will do.
Damn backup.
Why are we evacuating the
other major complaints. Again, I'm just going to talk over these guys, and I apologize for that, but you can read the subtitles if you're really super concerned about the story. Other major complaints about this game is the serious, like, graphical issues. Most of the time, I'm gonna say that the game doesn't look too bad. It's gonna be a little bit framey in the video, probably running at like 20 frames per second or 30 instead of, I guess it runs at 30 most of the time. Anyway, I'm playing the PC version, by the way, even though you see Xbox 360 button prompts, because I find that the game controls better with the controller. It does have rebindable controls, but the default PC controls are real bad. Like, F is secondary fire. I guess V as melee is not that rare, but it is a little bit weird to me. So it definitely plays like a game that was designed for the controller, and it has control issues. Anyway, I was saying, graphically, I don't think the game looks awful all the time, but during cutscenes, it looks like a game that was made, again, probably 6 or 7 years ago. To say PS2 graphics is probably a little bit of a misnomer. I've been seeing some reviews and some commenters saying the game looks like it was made for the PS2. That's not totally fair, but it certainly looks like an early 360 game during these cutscenes. Anyway, we're just gonna blow these guys up. Again, can't stress enough my disappointment that we have all these, like, fairly open environments, and we're shooting at humans primarily. That's incredibly annoying. What I will say, one point that I think works in the game's favor is that even on this normal difficulty, it is fairly difficult. I know some people have disagreed. Maybe I just suck at first-person shooters, which, you know, the entire audience is just nodding in approval for right now. But you're fairly squishy. Like, if you run out in the open, you're gonna die fairly quickly. It's very much, you know, cover is emphasized. Even though I am basically just blowing people up right here. Another major complaint, man. The weapon balance is really weird. Like, it feels like your plasma rifle, or which I'm using right now, just does, like, basically nothing. You have to, I mean, this guy's a heavy, so he's gonna take a while to kill regardless, which might not emphasize my point that well. But he took, like, almost an entire clip. Same thing applies to aliens. They're relatively squishy. They're, like, made of tissue paper. But the plasma rifle apparently shoots dull Crayola scissors or something. The shotgun works fantastically, but the fact that the shotgun seems to be the best weapon to fight the aliens is kind of crazy, considering they have, like, this acid blood, of course. But the acid blood, while corrosive, doesn't really do all that much damage. So I spend most of my time, despite the fact that it feels fucking crazy, just blasting these aliens up close with my shotgun, which, again, seems like exactly the wrong thing to be doing. Now, there are secrets in the levels. We can sometimes encounter weapons that are reminiscent of the movies, but every kind of tangent or reference that they have to the movies just feels like... Oh, I think there are aliens in here. I can't remember. This is just a steam factory, apparently. But every reference that they have to the movies or the franchise in general just feels incredibly superficial. It's like, oh, there's Hicks' shotgun. I should find that like a love letter to the movie because Hicks was in the original movie. Or, well, the sequel, I guess, technically. But you know what I'm saying. It doesn't go any deeper than reference to the movie. It's like, I have nothing against Family Guy, but it's like Family Guy is, hey, blah, 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 Natalie Wood reference. Oh, it's funny because it's Natalie Wood and she drowned and the joke was somehow related to water. Again, it's like, oh, I found Hicks' shotgun. I should feel like the game knows what it's doing because Hicks was in the original Aliens. Anyway, hopefully you understand what I'm saying there. I don't think I articulated my point perfectly, but hopefully it more or less came across. I am kind of getting killed here, but that's okay. Again, I am playing on the normal difficulty. So, you know, it's not like a survival horror game by any stretch. Like, single enemies pose basically no threat to me, as you can see. And we do have regenerating health to a certain extent as well as fairly copious amounts of body armor and whatnot coming down. This is actually a great level to exemplify what I think is wrong about Aliens Colonial Marines. I know this game had a troubled design history, or production history, but still, I find it fucking crazy that it's so hard to make a good Aliens game. It seems so easy. Cramped corridors, darkness, motion tracker beeping, like, provoke anxiety, man. It seems like the easiest game in the world to make. But sadly, this has just become a man shooter, which is basically subpar in every aspect. It reminds me so much of Duke Nukem Forever, and that as you play it, you're like, oh, this is from the early 2000s. Like, it's clear like the design documents for this were drafted up, like, during the George W. Bush administration. If not, you know, maybe during the Clinton administration, who knows. Anyway, we're gonna make our way down. I guess it wouldn't be during the Clinton administration, because Alien vs. Predator from Rebellion came out in, like, 1998. But apparently, I didn't play the most recent Alien vs. Predator game, but apparently it's substantially better than this, which I believe. Again, bad AI. These guys are just not facing us. Are you gonna shoot or something? There we go. How about you just walk one at a time? Oh, you can shoot through the glass. I thought it was bulletproof glass. I guess I give the AI a little bit too much credit. Also, frequent graphical glitches you will see. A lot of times aliens will have like their claws get stuck in something or their limbs get stuck in something and they'll shake around and look like they're dancing. To a certain extent, this can happen with the human-controlled, or I should say AI-controlled humans as well. Obviously not human-controlled. We're the only human-controlled entity right here. Oh, I died, actually. I didn't see those guys. That's totally my bad. The checkpoint system in the game is another point of problem, or point of contention that I've had with it. One thing, when you die, you have to go through that, like, black or gray scale screen for so long. But oftentimes, if you die, the checkpoint system will place you fairly far back. I don't know if it has quick saves, but, you know, I haven't been interested enough to really take a look at it. But there have been times in the game where, you know, I've spent 10 or 5 minutes backtracking through an area that I've already done before. I don't know why, man. Aiming feels very unsatisfying in this game. It's like, despite being a Marine who's trained for, like, space combat, it feels like after I take one shot, the gun is just, like, impossible to control because the recoil is too crazy. I don't play a whole lot of first-person shooters, so I don't know if this is the norm now, or if I'm being unreasonable, perhaps. But it feels very unsatisfying to me. Anyway, this guy apparently is a crack shot private military contractor who is, unfortunately... I just wish the enemies carried some increased risk, basically. Because as is right now, one enemy poses literally zero threat to me. Unless I just have to reload for 20 minutes or stop being able to shoot him for some reason. My AI... pretty bad, but they're probably gonna, you know, take care of business up there. They threw a grenade, but it wasn't at me. Did we clear out this room finally? Hopefully we get a checkpoint there. Also, you have to automatically pick up all the power-ups. That's not the worst thing in the world, but, you know, I'd much rather just be able to walk over them rather than having to point my cursor at them and then press an arbitrary button. But those are very minor complaints. Oh, you guys already teleported in here. That's cool. People just, move around, you know, irrespective of the laws of physics and, you know, the properties of the space-time continuum. Just pick up this med pack. I guess nobody was going to shoot at that guy, so I'm happy to do the job. Picked up his helmet and then just put it on my head, and instantly it becomes extra health for me. That guy's just not even going to face us, apparently. Hey, we reached a checkpoint, and apparently our teammate teleported into here. And some of these frame rate issues are because I'm recording right now, and I apologize for that, but that's an indication that the game is, to a certain extent, a little bit unoptimized. As much as I can't blame the game for that entirely, because it is also to do with my setup. But some of the frame rate issues are just, you know, the game gets a little bit framey sometimes when you're going in between checkpoints. And that is not 100% my fault. It happens when I'm not recording as well. So we're just going to continue moving on here. Oh, there must be a dude behind me that I didn't see. Another thing, the visuals, you know, to a certain extent, it captures the aesthetic of the the atmosphere of the original film, if you will. And every time I say original film, I'm referring to Aliens, sorry, not Alien. Despite my weird, how inaccurate that might be, let's say. So I'm just gonna, oh, I took my pistol out. This will be the first time I've ever used it. I just want to throw grenades instead. Again, the controls are mapped a little bit weird. You have a lot of abilities. I don't use nearly enough of them. But yeah, the visual style, you know, it captures the kind of darkness and environment, like colors, like the reds and the blacks and the lighting, of course, of the Alien film, Aliens. God damn it. However, it also makes for a weird kind of negative gameplay experience, because I find it very difficult to see enemies. And thus, I kind of rely on my teammates shooting at something to know when something is there. Otherwise, I just kind of like wait behind cover until I see that my teammates have shot at something. And this is a very representative level of Aliens Colonial Marines as a whole. We're just wandering through corridors. Occasionally, we'll get some story beats, but mostly, oh my god, there's just dudes yelling at us now and then. Just like, yo, go through this corridor, hack into something because it's a video game. Luckily, I have not encountered a turret shooting segment yet, but I'm sure I will, because this is a game, you know, developed in that kind of time period where those things were very common. I think we encounter some aliens on this level. I'm not 100% sure, though. I hope so. We've got to be getting fairly close to the end. Again, single enemy poses basically no risk. Well, let's enter the fusion control room, because science and shit, right? What's wrong with this dude? Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'd rather you didn't look at me, because it makes it much easier for me to succeed. if you're just gonna stare at the door the entire time. Well, right, we have to hack into something. This is the main source of variety in this game, is occasionally hacking into things to open doors, which, you know, is very, very... Did that not work? Very, very superficial is the most blatant... Oh, that's gonna explode and hurt. Yep. Luckily, our teammates are completely invincible, but unfortunately, I am not. Explosive barrels have probably caused about 75% of my death in this game. I guess they're not explosive barrels, per se. Explosive canisters, if you will. Believe you me, though, we are going to continue onwards here. We're going to complete this level, and then maybe I'll try to jump into the multiplayer. At this point, you know, I kind of wish I was able to get a copy of this game in advance so I could have this video out around the same time as the reviews that made, you know, so much press because the game was obviously really, really bad. Okay, so we're just going to back up now. Don't shoot the barrels. But as of right now, I kind of feel like I'm just, you know, you're piling on the game, and that gives a little I didn't even see this dude. That gives you a temptation when, you know, when a game's already being shit on, there is a little bit of a temptation to be like, it's not as bad as people are saying. This game is as bad as people are saying. The only positive things I have to say about this game is that it works, at least for me. I know Red Panda Gamer has had a lot of problems. He's a fellow YouTuber. Has had a lot of problems getting his copy to work on Steam. And I know in Australia the game originally released without the .exe, which is a pretty hilarious mistake. But, you know, kind of indicative of this game's troubled history. This game is basically just cursed. But it should be so easy! I mean, this is not a totally Gearbox joint. Like, also the guys at Timegate who did Section 8 Prejudice had some work to do in this. So you can't 100% blame Gearbox, but... you know, it's incredibly disappointing how this has turned out. I think we're getting close to the end of this level. This is fairly accurate, by the way. You know, levels tend to be about 20 minutes to a half hour long, depending on how many times you die. Enter the command deck and stop the attack on the Sephora. Yeah, I believe once we exit this elevator, we'll be fairly close to the end of this mission. That frame rate issue was totally the game's fault, by the way. This guy's seriously not dead. I hope we get to fight some aliens. There is a Call of Duty style, like, rank up system as well. I hope we get to fight some aliens so you can see how weak those guys are. And how... Oh, sorry about that. Again, luckily you're totally bulletproof. I don't understand why the AI is so bad. You know what this game feels like? The easiest comparison to make is that this game feels like Medal of Honor Frontline. Alright, I remember this part. So we gotta sneak up on these turrets. Best course of action is not to walk right into them. That's bad. Medal of Honor Frontline. That's a game that, you know, came out in like 2001 and was a World War II styled first-person shooter. That game was pretty okay, but it had terrible AI. This feels like 12 years later, they came out with a new game, but basically on the same engine, but with updated graphics. I need to figure out where this turret is. There's one out there, but isn't there one back here as well? There's dead dudes. Oh, hello. Sure, we'll just disable that by pressing the X button, and then I believe there's one more turret. Auto turrets, real pain in the... Oh, fuck, this guy's gonna kill me. Yep. Oh, the heavies are annoying as hell. Even though enemies are very easy to kill. I know I said one enemy doesn't pose a threat, but clearly that is a mistake at this point. So I guess we're gonna have to go through the... yeah, we're starting on this staircase room again, where enemies are gonna die in a single shotgun blast. Except for, why don't they just outfit all of their troops in that sweet-ass armor? That seems like a smarter idea. So we don't want to go that way. We want to go this way. Alright, so I should be a little bit better on this. By the way, if these guys didn't have those shoulder lights, they would be impossible for me to kill. So thank you to the Weyland-Yutani Corporation for giving these guys, like, laser tag style red shoulder lights. That makes it possible for me to kill them. Where's our turret? It's right... There's one here, but there's one out here, I believe. So I'm just going to sneak out here. Is it here? Hello, Bella and O'Neill, who are just standing there. Really? Are you guys just gonna hang out in this room? Go flank the turrets! I'm gonna wait here and check my Twitter feed. Oh, luckily, those turrets are very slow moving. So I was able to simply, oh, this is where the guy is, right? Oh, different guy this time. Decapitation, kind of a cool animation, I guess. Where is Mr. Asshole, though? This room was kind of a pain in the ass for me. Fuck your legs, man. When I did this, I was actually streaming when I did this level. This guy's just got blood pouring out of him. This was a problem for me. I died several times on this room. That turret is going to shoot at me. Luckily, the Weyland-Yutani PMCs apparently are not going to shoot at me. Where is the flank here? It's over this way, and then we go through this door. And then we walk around sideways, and that should be good enough. I think this is the last one. Because, you know, in any video game, there can only be 3 of anything. Maybe we'll come across some... I don't want to close the doors. Maybe we just have to kill everybody first to get out of here. So this flank should be good enough to just massacre them like tissue paper. Do I sound bored? I am bored. I'm pretty sick of playing this game, and I'm sad that I wasted $50 on it, and I'm glad to be done with it very shortly. Teammates, where are you? Maybe motion tracker will tell me. Oh, they're all the way. How did you teleport right beside me? That happens so much. Oh, this is, I believe, the end of this mission. So disable the Sulaco's weapons, which again just LOL ASL 17 male South California. All right, this is indeed the end of this mission.
We're here.
Sulaco Actual, Mayday. The reactor is critical. There's nothing... I'm sorry, sir, but we couldn't...
Alright. I like how she puts her hand on the glass. That's so cheesy.
All hands, this is Sulaco Actual. All hands brace for impact. It's been an honor serving with you. Godspeed.
Oh my God. Guys. We failed.
Is that Randy Pitchford talking there? Oh my god, guys, we failed to deliver a good Aliens experience. I apologize if it feels like I'm just jumping on the hater bandwagon. It's a game that, like Duke Nukem Forever, people are going to defend because it's not unplayable. What it is creatively devoid and incredibly uninteresting and absolutely not worth $50. $10? You can get this game for $10. You might have a good time. You might be able to spend, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours somewhat enjoying yourself. But don't be conned into thinking that, you know, this is a good experience if you're an Aliens fan or a shooter fan, because it's not. Even if you're both, even if you're a diehard Aliens fan, this is just like, it's someone taking a shit on the legacy to a certain extent. And that's coming from someone who is only a little bit of a diehard Aliens fan. I love Aliens, but this does not capture the spirit of tension or action that's really endemic to that movie at all. You need the aliens, and we didn't see many aliens, but you need the aliens to not be so squishy. We're going to try to find a team deathmatch here, and we'll just play like one game of multiplayer. I should, before we jump into a team deathmatch game, the multiplayer is not as broken as the single player, or as shitty as the single player, but it's also completely unnoteworthy. There's 4 modes. Team deathmatch, self-explanatory. Extermination is kind of like a demolition mode, where you're planting bombs to wipe out alien clusters. Escape is almost like a Left 4 Dead style mode, where like the aliens respawn, but the humans don't. So the squad of human survivors has to like accomplish objectives and then eventually escape in a dropship. And Survivor, I actually don't know. I didn't get a chance to play that. But Team Deathmatch seems to have the most vibrant community, as you might expect. And it's also the one that I've had the most luck with. But I will say in the hour or so of multiplayer that I've played, the Marines have seen vastly, vastly overpowered compared to the aliens, who typically die in, you know, a single shotgun blast, whereas the aliens have to claw the shit out of somebody. If the Marines work together, it seems like there's basically no chance for even a group of aliens to kill them, as grenades are highly effective as well. Well, we found one player. The multiplayer community apparently not completely dead, but, what was I going to say just a second ago? I totally forgot. Basically, if you want to talk about what this multiplayer is using an analog, it wants so desperately to be as good as Natural Selection 2, and it fails so miserably in almost every single respect. There's different alien classes, but every alien basically controls the same way. It's not entirely superficial differences. There are like some ranged classes, or one ranged class, but largely the game has a superficial amount of depth to it, and lacks a lot of those strategic elements that are important that help make Natural Selection so good. Luckily, I've muted everybody. But yeah, if you're looking for an asymmetrical multiplayer game, aliens versus humans, I cannot recommend Natural Selection 2 enough. Goes on sale on Steam all the time. It's real fucking good. Waiting for host to start the game, apparently, so we'll just sit here. How's it going, everybody? I'm gonna take a sip of my water. I've been yelling about aliens for half an hour now. Another problem with this multiplayer game, I'm not sure if they give the host too much control, because the internet always gets up in fucking arms whenever I say anything positive about Call of Duty. But, you know, Call of Duty games, they have momentum because they start even if the game's not totally full, which is maybe bad for balance, but good for fun and playing the video game. Whereas I've spent most of my multiplayer time with Colonial Marines just kind of sitting at that lobby, waiting for the final person to join. Because God knows it's got to be totally balanced. It's got to be 5 versus 4, or I would rage like a motherfucker. Because I don't want to play Aliens Colonial Marines unless we're in a perfectly final destination, no items, Fox only. So we're going to spawn here, presumably in a second. A lot of people are already into the game. We're playing as the Marines, which is good. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see any Aliens gameplay, maybe over the course of this. I'm hoping, there we go, I spawned in. And I'm in space, and now I'm falling through the map. Alright. That is pretty indicative of my Aliens experience so far. How's it going, Tarsonis? Did the lag work out? This guy didn't even have a gun for a second there. That seems like a bad idea when you're on LV-426 like this. Wow, this is totally unplayable. I'm doing nothing. Oh my god, is that a fucking Onos or something? I'm doing nothing else right now. So I'm not sure what's up with this. I use the shotgun almost entirely in my time with this game so far. This is fucking broken. Maybe I just got really lucky with my experiences before. I'm not sure if you have to do something special to spawn as this alien, because I've never seen it. Apparently he's unkillable though. Oh, there's another alien right there. Everyone's disconnecting. No one is shooting at anyone, and that's the end of the game. That was a really good experience right there. I had a lot of fun. Apparently we joined a game in progress. We lost 3-25. I was only there for about a second and a half. Let's see if we boot into a game now. Wow, that was really bad. For all of the somewhat positive things I've said about the multiplayer so far, that was pretty fucking terrible. And now everyone is leaving the game, as they should. Probably, you know, dousing their computer in bleach or something. Game lobby host is left. We'll try one more time, because that might not be totally fair. It would be entertaining if that was the only multiplayer experience in the video, but it might not be totally fair. Let's try. I've had an okay game of Aliens Colonial Marines Team Deathmatch. It wasn't super fun. It was definitely not fun enough to justify a $50 purchase. But it was also, you know, not the worst thing I've ever played in my entire life. And again, we're going to play as Marines. It seems not totally laggy, which is a good start. So it's just Team Deathmatch. You know, there's some aliens down there. Just shoot some grenades. I'm sure they're going to come for us eventually. But we can get lucky with these grenades a lot of the time. I can see them in there. And we're just going to basically... Oh! There's one around us. Same thing as natural selection too, man. Occasionally just jumping backwards is enough. Although, you know, the classes... the alien classes are fairly powerful, but it seems like every game I've played, basically, the Marines have trounced the aliens. And I've seen scores, like, in the vicinity, like you saw last time. 3-25, that's not necessarily abnormal. Oh. I didn't get that kill there. I'm getting assists, but I want the kills, man. I want to go straight up MLG in Aliens Colonial Marines. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I doubt this game is gonna have a super vibrant and competitive community. Who knows? I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but doesn't seem like the community's too fond of this game so far. Where the hell did that guy get? Did he just jump into space? There is, as you might expect... Oh, I got spit on. Oh man, that was a good shot, actually. The spitters are pretty powerful. It's 11-8, which is fairly good. Believe it or not, I actually have nearly a positive kill-death ratio in my time with this game overall. Mind you, that's a fairly small sample size. But, again, why are we doing this on totally wide-open maps? I guess Team Deathmatch on wide-open maps makes a little bit of sense. Whereas, you know, the extermination modes wouldn't. That grenade didn't. The grenades don't really fly like I want them to fly. That's kind of a superficial complaint at this point, though. You and me, Sloth, and guy with numbers in his name that I can't parse right now. We're just gonna wait out here, see what happens. Occasional clipping in the environment, nothing to worry about. Shooting some aliens occasionally. Me and you, Sloth. I'm just gonna continue getting assists. I'm gonna be the assist dude. Did I get another one there? If I didn't, I should have. Oh, I actually did get a kill with a grenade, believe it or not. And an assist on that shotgun. Now I'm just going to wait for my health to regen a little bit, because obviously I'm in a bad place. And I will probably die to, like, one more spit. Hey, another kill! And finally got killed by the acid myself. Anal killed me, which is probably exactly what the reaction that the guy wants, given the name that he has. Are we destroying them? 22 to 15? Not destroying, that would be a strong word, but we're definitely at an advantage right now. Thank God for that lag, which may have actually saved my life, while simultaneously transporting me across the map. Just want to use grenades, because that gives me the best chance at killing these enemies. You start with a limited number of grenades, but perhaps not limited enough. I see a lot of grenade spamming. And you only have to hit the alien once to kill them. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Ah, that was a really good shot, actually. In a way, it kind of reminds me of, you know, like playing War of the Roses online. In that, like, everyone on the aliens class, there's a very strong preference to be playing as the spitter. Did I kill him there? No, I got blown up myself and it ruined my HUD somehow. I don't know, sometimes it feels like these aliens are throwing like EMP grenades or something that just like takes your HUD offline. I mean, I realize I got killed there. What's this, like a flamethrower? Smart gun. Alright. Sure, I've never used this before, but let's see what's up. The elevator does not work. It's a minigun, apparently. Does it shoot grenades? No. Alright. I don't like it then. And I mean, like, you know, the multiplayer experience, you can see it's not awful. It's not particularly good, and especially if you already have, like, a multiplayer game of choice. It's not going to usurp that, in all likelihood. But it is good enough that it could possibly... I think that guy's dead. It could possibly... This HUD is super distracting, by the way. I guess it has, like, a target finder. It's good enough that if you paid $50 for this game anyway, this will at least... It's like a balm on the burn. It's not gonna soothe the burn too much, and the loss of that $50 that could have gone to something more productive, like, I don't know, donating it straight to Al-Qaeda or something. Thought maybe I'd get lucky there. Sadly, no. Hey, another kill. I'm the world's greatest. Oh, I'm no longer the world's greatest, but hey, 4 and 7. That's almost a 1 kill death ratio. Anyway, I think you understand what I'm saying by that point, which is basically not good, but good enough to not be as bad as the single player, which is, you know, a backhanded compliment, but perhaps a compliment nonetheless. And again, these assists like crazy, man. Might as well toss a grenade. Oh, there's no time. So we won 46 to 27, which is pretty standard for Marines, it seems. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of this game. This is Aliens Colonial Marines. In case you needed it, this is me saying don't buy this game, and shame on the publishers and developers for coming out with such a broken product. I'd love to show you some Alien gameplay here. This is the Alien. You know, we can walk on these canisters and stuff, but it doesn't function nearly as well as natural selection, and oftentimes I find myself incapable of moving to places where I want to move. But, you know, we can spit here if we wanted to. Amazing. It doesn't really handle all that well, but yeah, at least it's an attempt at asymmetric gameplay. It's been done substantially better and substantially cheaper, but at least it exists. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to play another multiplayer game here because I value my sanity too much. In any case, let's just exit here. Aliens Colonial Marines, as bad as people are saying it is, absolutely do not buy it. And again, I don't want to be overly negative, but shame on you people that pre-ordered it and are saying, oh, the media is just jumping on this for attention. This is a bad game. People don't realize, but there is an innate bias when you buy something as well. Like, the innate bias, the way that factors in is, I don't want to feel like I've wasted my money. Aliens Colonial Marines isn't a 3 out of 10, it's a 6 out of 10. I've played a lot of games that are 6 out of 10s. This is not a 6 out of 10. This is very much a well below average game. It's pretty terrible. Yeah, so just don't fall victim to that trap. Don't fall victim to the trap that, you know, oh, I'll pick it up on Steam when it's $10, or oh, maybe if it was $25, I'd get it. This is not worth your time. It's not just a money issue. It's not worth your time. So much more could be done with the Colonial Marines license, or so the Aliens license, to be more accurate. Colonial Marines just doesn't hit the notes that it needs to hit, and it feels like a vestige of kind of a forgotten era, and an era that's forgotten a lot of times for good reason. But I'm just rambling now. In any case, thank you guys for watching. Definitely do not buy this. I hope I helped at least some of you stave off the hype to make this purchase. And in any case, I'll see you next time.